So what it means with inconsistent measurement is that maybe one of the dimensions is in yards and one of the dimensions is in inches, and we have to get them to the same unit and then find the area. So like I was saying, it's kind of a mix of what we did yesterday with the conversions and what we've been talking about with area of different types of quadrilaterals. Any questions before we get started? We are doing this for 2 days because it's kind of tricky. So here is our first example. So it tells you what we want the final answer to be in. So do you see how it says square inches right here? So I want my final answer to be in square inches. So what I'm going to do is make sure that all my dimensions are in inches. Are my dimensions in inches right now? One of them is, right? So the 26 inches, that's fine. But over here I have 1.5 feet. How do I do this? I'm going to use this guy, right?
Yeah.
So you can do feet over inches. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1.5 feet equals X inches. So you're basically doing 12 times 1.5. And you are right, we get 18 for our inches. So I am going to get rid of the 1.5. I'm going to make it 18. Okay? Now I can take it to the next step and actually find the area. How do you find the area of a rectangle? All right. Remember, it's addition's commutative, so if you put 26 times 8 or 8 times 26, 18 times 26, it doesn't matter. What do you come up with? 468, and then make sure you take it back to where we were supposed to have it. Square inches. All right, and then there is one thing missing here. You should treat this like a square. I don't know why it's missing the little tick marks. So if this was a square that was 2 yards on one side, what would it be on all the sides? 2 yards. They're all the same, remember? But we don't want the answer in yards. We want the answer in feet. So how many feet are in 2 yards? 6. Very good. So I'm just going to say down here, S equals 6 feet. If you're unsure, you would use this information right here. 1 yard equals 3 feet. If you want to set up a proportion over here, cross multiply and find your answer, that's fine. Yards, feet, inches, a lot of that stuff you can do in your head just because you're a little more familiar with it. So if you can go right to here, good. Go for it. All right, and how do I find the area of a square? Multiply what?
6.
6 and?
2. 6. 24?
Do you mean 6 squared?
Yeah.
Yeah, or 6 times 6, which is what?
36.
36. Good. Questions? So I want the answer in meters. So my height's fine, but I need to do something with my base. So do we know how to go from centimeters to meters? So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. I have 700 centimeters. I need that in terms of meters. So it's going to be what? 7 meters. Good. So you can get rid of that. 7 meters, all right? Now how am I gonna find the area? Very good. And a little side note, some of you were messing up your units on your quiz. Since I wasn't here to remind you, I didn't take points out this time, but on the test I will. So make sure if you're talking about area, you have the little squared after it. If you're not, if you're just talking about length, you don't need the squared after it, okay? Questions? All right, so this next one we want our answer in terms of square feet. So the 16 is good. What about the 12? That's in yards. So yards and feet is right here. So we can do yards over feet. Or does anyone just know this one in their head? Yeah, it's going to be 36 feet. So you can get rid of the 12 and change it to 36. Now, how do I find the area of a rectangle? Multiply. So 36 times 16. So 567 square feet. Did I say it backwards? I'm sorry, I am dyslexic.
Me too.
Self-diagnosed.
Me too.
The struggle, it's real. That's why I usually write it correctly, I just say it incorrectly. So. When in doubt, do what I write. Questions? Number 5. We are talking about a big old rhombus, right? 2,000 feet by 3/4 of a mile. That's a lot, okay? But I want my answer in terms of feet. So do I know any information about feet and miles?
Go. Yes.
This right here. So I can do miles over feet. So 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. I need to know how many feet are in 0.75 miles. So when I cross multiply here, I have so 3,960. So you can get rid of the 0.75, 3,960 feet. All right, this brings us to the second portion of the problem. How do I find the area of a rhombus? Multiply. So 2,000 times 3,960 times what? We're missing part of it. Yeah. That is the formula for the area of a rhombus. It's 1/2 the diagonal times the diagonal. So 1/2 of 2,000 is what?
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
So you're basically just going to tack 1, 2, 3 zeros on the end. You have to use your labels, okay? There's a big difference between 3 million feet and 3 million miles. These are actually square feet. Questions? Okay, so this starts out 3,500 meters and 11 kilometers, and I want my answer in square kilometers. It's written kilometers square, but it's usually said square kilometers. Okay, where am I, what am I going to use? Yeah, the second to last one, where it says that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So I'm going to do kilometers over meters here. And I want to change, which one of these am I changing?
Meters?
Yeah, you're changing the meters into kilometers because you need your answer to be in kilometers. So make sure you're picking the right one to mess with. So, from my conversion chart, I know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So I want to know how many kilometers is in 3,500 meters. Can you guys quiet down a little bit up there? Shh. We got 2 more. We can do it. When you cross multiply, you will end up dividing by 1,000. So what do you end up with? Yeah, this is 3.5 kilometers. And we are working with a parallelogram. How do you find the area of a parallelogram? Yeah, we do base times height, so 3.5 times 11.
Yeah. 38.5.
Height and square kilometers, square kilometers.
Very good. All right, we got one more example for today. Then you'll have a homework assignment. When you come back tomorrow, we will do the rest of the notes for these inconsistent measurements. All right, this one is a lot. So, I know. So let's check this one out. We need everything to be in what? Inches. So I got inches, 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 feet.
Oh, feet. Why you always going 9 feet? 9 feet.
You are going, you're on the wrong unit if you're trying to use a 3. Feet and inches is right here. So how many inches are in 3 feet? 36. So I'm just going to cross that out and do 36 inches. If you want, does anyone want to see the cross multiplying step?
Yeah.
I feel like feet and inches people do pretty easy with. So if you have inches over feet, 12 inches is in 1 foot. I want to know how many inches are in 3 feet. So when I cross multiply, I get 1x equals 36. Or x equals 36. All right. Now, there should be at least one rectangle where we know both dimensions. Anybody see it? $16 and $14. Don't do it. 16 and 14. What's the area down there? Okay. Now, how long is this segment?
36.
From here to here? 14, okay? That is key that I know that this is 14. Because this whole side is 36 inches. If I cut off the lower piece, that's 14 inches. How long is the height of this rectangle? 22 inches. You gotta know that, okay? The way I did that is this segment over here is 36 inches. That's the whole side. I don't want to use the length of the whole side because that's not the length. There's no big giant rectangle I'm trying to find. I need from here to here. I need the height of this rectangle, okay? So if you have the whole thing that's 36, but you've already used this guy down here that's 14, you can just do 36 minus 14. That leaves you with 22 inches. So the height is 22 inches, but I still need the base. So I have 22 and how long is this? 17.
17.
So what's 22 plus 17?
39.
39. So the whole base of this green rectangle is 39 inches. Does everyone see where those dimensions came from?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to do 22 times 39.
858.
All right. So right now I have this and this. I still need the area up here. All right. So I'm going to highlight this one in blue. So my base is 17 inches, but I don't know the height. All right, this whole thing is 35 inches. I just want this little chunk up here. How long is this piece? 22, it's the same as this side, okay? These are rectangles, so the opposite sides are congruent. So if you subtract the 22, what would you get? 13. That's the dimension you use when you're finding the area of the blue rectangle. Anyone have it? 221 square inches. Now you add those. So I need to do 221 plus 858 plus 224. And this is all square inches. All right, so I am going to go ahead and pass out your homework for tonight. A little later in class, I'm going to check all those homework assignments from last week. So you should have 2 reviews and then worksheet 5 from last night.